afternoon, and welcome to our Wednesday afternoon with Let's Explore It. And today we're going to do a little lab, and I have a helper with me today, and it is our Eastern Screech Owl, Doc. And a little bit about Doc is he came through our Fontenelle Forest Raptor Recovery Program. He was found injured and was not able to be released back into the wild because the wing that he had a fracture in does not allow him to fly very well. And of course, being in the wild, you have to be able to hunt in order to survive. So he became an education bird, and the Edgerton Explorer Center was able to get the permits to have him on the facility to do education programs. And so Doc here, we don't know how old he is. We just know that he is probably a male and is an adult. So if anybody has any questions while we're doing the program about Doc, please feel free to send us a message, and we can try to answer your questions about him while we're going to do our little exercise today. Okay? Eastern screech owls are native to Nebraska, and you probably wouldn't know them. They come out at night and hunt. They're good little hunters, and they live in cavities in the trees. So right now it's very critical that they are nesting in little cavities. So if you're doing any tree trimming, please be very cautious about little cavities because they could have their nests in there, and the babies are just getting to the point where they're hatching right now. All right, so today's activity is about making an owl mask, and it's something that you can make with a couple paper plates. I have an example already made up here in front of Doc, and it's just 2 paper plates and a couple toilet paper rolls.
So Deb, why are we using the paper towel rolls?
The toilet paper rolls, well, with owls, they have what is called an orange-shaped eye. And that means that their eyes are really big in their socket, which limits them from looking. So if you and I were to look, we can turn our eyes from one side to the other side without moving our head. Now an owl, since their eyes are so big, they cannot move their eyes. They have to turn their head. So when we put these on our mask, it's going to kind of show you how it would be if you were an owl when you're looking. So as you see Doc, he's kind of looking back here at me. If there was something going on, maybe I can kind of walk behind him a little bit and see if he turns. So you see he has to turn his head to come and look back at me. Now they can turn their head like 270 degrees. They have a couple more vertebrae in their neck that allows them to move their head around. Now we can only turn about 180 from one side to another. So if I go back over on this side, maybe he'll catch me over here. See? Okay. So that's how he's going to be able to see behind him. So with our paper towel rolls here, that's going to kind of be like when we put them on there, and you'll see that you cannot look out to the side. It limits your vision, so you're going to have to turn your head to look from one side to another. Okay, so Doc, shall we get started and kind of show them what we're going to do here? So you need a couple paper plates, and I have a couple toilet paper rolls, or if you have a paper towel roll, you can cut it in half. Okay, and with our paper plate, I kind of have them divided up to kind of show you how they're going to be cut right now. So I have 2 paper plates, and I have them right inside of each other. So you're going to cut on the black line, both of them, right straight across there. Okay? Should I just do that one?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
I'll just cut this one here, and then I have the examples over here. So you're just going to take your scissors and cut about 1/4 of the paper plate off. Okay? All right, so that leaves you the top half, and now we have them together. What you're going to do is take your toilet paper roll, and set it on and draw the circle around it for your eyes. Okay? So once you have the 2 circles on there, now you need to cut those circles out. So you kind of want to know like how close they are together. And to cut them out, you need to poke a hole in the middle of the plate. Use a pencil or something that you can get through both of the paper plates. And then go around and cut them out in a circle. And once you do that, your paper plate will be like this. Okay, we have our two holes there. Now the other part of the plate, take one off. The other part is going to be part of the face of the owl. So we're going to get the disc, like most owls have a disc shape around their face. You can kind of see it on Doc, the dark line that goes around his face. Look forward there, Doc. But you can see, and that's actually where their ears are located on an owl, is in that disc, and that helps them to direct the sound to their ears. So with this part of the paper plate, you're going to, after you've cut the eyes out, I have the lines drawn on here where you're going to kind of cut up through the middle and cut so you make kind of little pie shape on here, and you'll have that divided in half. Once you get those, and the eyes are all cut out, then those go on top of your mask here. Okay? Then, from that part, you have the bottom part that we just cut off. And from that, you can make the beak. And from the other part, you can make the ears. Okay, so you would cut that part in half, and you can kind of trim it down, and those will go on top. Now when I say they're ears, they're not really their ears. Those are, as you can see on Doc, little tufts of feathers that stick up. So we're not really getting his, you can see the ears at all, but those are feather tufts up there, and it makes him look kind of big and alert, and if he's up against the tree, he will blend in with the tree bark when he's looking tall and skinny like a branch setting up in the tree. So they're very camouflaged. All right, so once you have all those pieces cut apart, then if you want, you can color them with some pencils or some markers, and so you can kind of see he's kind of blended in with the bark. So if you want, you can just take them and however you want to color them, solid, or just kind of make it look like they're feathers out there, and just kind of shade it in. And they're not always the same color, so I got a couple different ones here. Out on the line of his face, it might be a little darker. So you can just kind of shade them in or color them however you want. And once you get them all colored, then we're going to attach them to the bottom plate here. And so we can have some tape, either Scotch tape or your masking tape. And we will just kind of tape them down so we have a good idea when we get them all together. You could probably do a little bit better solid taping job than I am. I'm just going to kind of put them on here right now. Okay, there's faces. We'll cover his ears. Okay, and then the beak. Okay. So now we have the mask already made here, and now we're going to have to make it with the toilet paper tubes. So to do that, you need to take your toilet paper tube and you're going to cut little slots around. Just fringe it up a little bit. So I just cut around the circle there and spread them out so that they will fit on the eye there. So we'll do that one on here. So you just kind of start making little slits around. And this is a good way then that we can attach it and to hang on to. And once you have the little slots, then just peel them back. And that will set them nice and smooth against there, and then we can tape them down over the holes. Are you watching very carefully here? Because I'm going to make an owl face for you, Doc. Then you can look like twins. Or do I look like your twin right now? Okay. A couple more pieces around here. Okay, so once it's all colored and you have your eyes attached, then you kind of look like binoculars and put them up to your eyes. And when you go to look, remember, if I wanted to look over here to my right or to look at Doc, I'm going to have to turn my head and focus and look at whatever I want to see. Okay? I can't just look out using my eyes. I have to use my head to look. So that is basically a little owl mask. And here, you can color it however you want it. Make it look kind of camouflage. Okay, here we are. What do you think, Doc? All right, so pretty easy, just a basic paper plate, couple cuts, and a couple toilet paper rolls, and there you have an owl mask. Okay, well, I think that's all for our little activity here today. Hope you guys can have some fun being an owl.
Mentions this is one of our labs for school.
We do use this for, if you come here to the center, we do this as a lab for our schools. school groups. And with our Raptor program, we talk about the different things that the owls have to adapt to. And that is our afternoon with Doc, our education owl.
If you'd
And
like
Deb.
to see him again, you can watch our birdseed video. We brought Doc in for that one. It was around Easter. So.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for joining us today. See us again on Friday at 2 o'clock.